Hello, everybody. It's JP Nordia here, and of course, it's time for us to talk about baseball in South Africa every Thursday, 9 p.m. For those of you that have just joined us, welcome. We are, of course, live on YouTube. And please feel free to join us in the chat group where you can talk to us and we can ask some questions to our panel. For those of you that have been paying attention, you will know that on the show with me tonight, I've got Mariska Barnard, the captain of the South African Baseball5 team, and as well as Aiden Bartes, also team member of the National Baseball5 side. They've just come back from, well, they've been back for about 3 weeks now, but we've been meaning to catch up with them. So much happening in baseball at the moment. They've, of course, just returned from the Baseball5 World Championships, which happened now recently in Mexico. Of course, South Africa are the current Africa champions. They won the Africa Championships in March in Tanzania, and off to Mexico they went. So without any further ado, as I said, please feel free to join us on the chat group. Let me first introduce you to the panel then tonight. Hello, Mariska, and hello, Aiden.
Hey, guys.
My name's JP.
Well, guys, let me start off first of all by saying you both look fantastic in your South African kit.
Thank you, JP.
Oh,
Mariska, let's start off with you. Where are you right now? In South Africa, we assume.
Currently I'm just home with my exams, and yeah, it's been quite busy with exams after that, and I'm just waiting for the baseball season to start.
Right, Mariska looks like she's just frozen a little bit there. Aiden, of course, you're of course in Port Elizabeth at the moment.
Yes, in PE at home. So
PE
I'm also at home
at home.
at the moment.
Right, folks, guys, so I think everybody's been wanting to talk to you guys now since the return. Everybody managed to watch you on the live stream, all the big matches. Mariska, let's start off with you. Before we look at some of the sort of the nitty-gritty of Baseball5, which obviously very exciting, how did it feel? How did it feel to go to Mexico and represent South Africa? Aiden, I think Mariska's image may be just a bit frozen there. Let's go to you. How did it feel for you guys? We'll catch up with Mariska in a second.
Okay. All in all, going over was overwhelming at first, JP. No lie, the pressure, the stress, just going there, representing South Africa, actually just wanting to go out there and make a name and also stamp a statement. The nerves got the better of us, but as we got there and settled in, found our feet,
Yeah.
things slowly began to take off and we came together as unity, family.
We'll sit back a little bit now and wait to see if Mariska if she re-establishes her signal. But Aiden, let's just talk to you then a little bit from a pre-tournament perspective. I mean, you guys, of course, it was hard work for you in the build-up, but and a national spread. I mean, you guys from all over the country got together and you managed to pull it together.
Yeah, no. In such a short space of time, I mean, going back to the qualifiers, I think the team was put together within 3 months, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken, 6 weeks, give or take. So between six to 3 months. And I mean, for us to be first representing the country for our very first time in a sport which we're not so known about, although the fundamentals as in baseball stays the same. Just going there and performing, showing off our talents, knowing our capabilities, and just instructing as a coach to, or do as the coach instructs us to do.
We had Coach America Juma on the show with us. We will hopefully in the next foreseeable future we'll get Haley Scott, your coach. There we go. Mariska's back with us. probably disconnected from the phone and back on the laptop. Welcome back, Mariska.
Ek kan assist niks weer.
There we go. Mariska sal net haar klank gou uitsorteer. But Aiden, let's just stay with you while Mariska is busy getting connected there. Just tell us a little bit about the traveling. I mean, it was quite a long way to go to Mexico, but you guys as a team, you had to work to get there, and it looked like the team spirit was something that was quite incredible.
Yeah, no. So at first, because of the financial constraints that the team faced as a whole, we unfortunately couldn't travel as a whole. The group was, however, split up. 3 flew through the US because they had US visas. The others, however, only had Mexican visas, and we had to travel through Dubai.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it kind of broke us down initially, but as soon as we got together, I mean, we just came together as a family, like I say, and the bond that we grew with one another from Tanzania leading up to all the camps, it's just unbreakable. I mean, we found more than just a baseball team now. We are family. Yeah, so.
Mariska is back. Hopefully, Mariska, hopefully you can hear. Can you hear us now?
Yes, I can hear you guys now. Sorry about that.
We're on live stream with YouTube. It's technical glitches, and we know there's load shedding and there's gremlins. This is very casual. It's all about fun and being able to chat with you guys. Just in your absence, I was asking Aiden about the trip. Mariska, one of the things before we speak about the results and that was the team spirit amongst you guys. Looking from South Africa's perspective, it was quite incredible to see the spirit of the team.
Yeah, no, definitely. Our team spirit and the bond we had as a team, that was from Tanzania. Actually, we were the team that were admired for our team spirits, and that carried through all the way to the World Cup. And I think that is what made our squad that good. It was definitely the family that was between us.
So there were a few things that we were able to see watching on the live stream, but I'm very curious to know, what did we not see? You know, looking from the outside, and I know that if we look at the live stream, we saw like one of the big things that you guys were known for was Jerusalem. I got to ask, did you guys know how to do the Jerusalem dancing before you left, or did you have to teach each other that?
Well, I think most of us were familiar with the dance just because it was trending quite a bit at a stage. But when we got to the hotel and they told us we need to choose 4 songs, and we had a whole discussion and a meeting about it, and then Jerusalem came up, and then we all were like, we're definitely going to choose the song and we're going to do the dance. And it kind of became our theme song after every win, and if any one of the African countries won, then we would join them on the field and we would do this dance with them. But I remember, I think the second day that we moved into the hotel where all the other teams stayed, Coach Juma made us practice this song, I think like 3 or 4 times, and all of the WBSC members came out, and it was like, what is going on here? And the members of the hotel came, so we were familiar, but we definitely had to practice it in a little bit, but we got a hang of it quite quickly.
And then Aiden, I mean, it was also quite special to see that the other countries ended up doing the dancing with you. It wasn't just you guys that knew Jerusalem, but the other countries that started joining you to do it.
Yeah, no, funny enough is, like Mariska says, we actually decided on the Jerusalem song. Like she said, when we arrived at the hotel, we were sitting in the COVID line test actually. And right after we got our results, we practiced the dance for the very first time. And other teams moving in there for the first time also came and had to get their COVID test done. So they saw us performing the Jerusalem dance song, theme song, and some of them decided to join. Being friendly as they were, they just decided and this because the steps were so easy, and we made anyone feel welcome for the fact of matter.
I don't know.
I
I still
just
can't get it right. I tie both my feet together and I fall over myself. But what was impressive for me was also, if I remember correctly, it was Vulindlela, which is a very popular, famous song. And I saw you guys doing it on the stairs, what looked like on the stairs of the hotel. And
yeah.
I think Aiden, you and Maredi Sylvester, you guys were dancing. But what really impressed me was Lulu Albertine doing his moves, and he completely had our rhythm in place. Mariska.
Yeah, no, definitely. I must say the boys were definitely the life of the team. They're really the greatest spirit, and they always brought the best vibe that include all of the other players, not just from our team, but even the other teams. We made other people feel welcome very quickly, and I'm really appreciative about our boys. I think I couldn't have chosen a better group to go with. They really made it so fun.
So, just for the folks that are watching us now that maybe have just joined us, please feel free to say hello in the live chat. I'm sure Mariska and Aiden might will be happy to answer any questions that you might have. Mariska, let's talk a little bit about the game itself. For the folks, before we talk about Mexico and the teams, for the folks that are not familiar with baseball fives, it's a new sport, but probably South Africa's fastest growing sport. It's popping up everywhere. It looks like even though you guys obviously make it look easy, am I right? Is it an easy sport?
No, I won't
so.
I won't say it is. Playing against Cuba, having those balls smashed at you, yeah, it's not that easy.
But you don't need a bat to play. You can play in a very small space, and it's and it's a softball, and everybody can do it.
No,
Yeah.
it's fairly easy to learn the game. Yes.
Is it easy to learn? Because when I look at you guys in baseball, there's so many statistics and so many rules and so many words to learn. Is it the same in baseball 5? Because as I say, looking at it on TV, it just looked so easy to do. You pitch up and hit the ball and run to the base.
And that's exactly what it is.
Really?
It just requires yourself, a ball, and the willingness to play the sport. Because there were a lot of newbies. I mean, certain countries such as Lithuania had volleyball players, basketball players in their international setup,
Wow.
which played baseball for the very first time and got selected somehow for the national team because of their capabilities and the willingness.
Yeah.
And I mean, they did pretty well. All the countries out there, I'm sure they went and represented decent.
Mariska, that was Lithuania was one of the teams that obviously made a name for themselves on that tour. From a European point of view, they looked like they were sort of new kids on the block, and they did quite well.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, no, definitely. And even the last night, just how they managed to, well, just form a bond with our players. Obviously, while we have the competition, everyone is very professional, very focused on the game. But after the last game and after the final round, when everything is done, you become human again and you just interact with them. And that was really one of my favorite teams to interact with and just get to know them. So I really enjoyed them as individual people as well, not just players on the field.
So you were up against some very tough teams that obviously have a lot of experience. Japan, Cuba. I mean, there were some tough outfits there. Aiden, who would you guys say? I mean, you guys had some fantastic results. Of course, getting into the placement round and then going unbeaten in the placement round. But Aiden, in your opinion, who would you say was the toughest team?
The toughest team was definitely Cuba, mainly because of the reasons they hit harder, they ran faster.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were just all in all around they were good. They were really good.
So,
airtight.
Mariska, one of the things that we saw was Moretti Sylvester, his shouting before he hit every ball. That became sort of a highlights reel for baseball, world baseball. Started taking photographs and using that as a sound bite in every video. Is that something that he's always done, or did you guys tell him to do that?
No, from Tanzania, that became our trademark. Every time I already went up to bat, you know something is coming in. I think it's such a perfect characteristic of him, or a trait that he does, because Moretti is that good. I know very few people with natural talent like that kid. And when Moretti comes up to bat, you can see the infield moving around, not knowing what to do. So I think it suited him perfectly. It came from Tanzania, and yeah, I'm glad he got that coverage because he really deserves it. He's a great kid and he's going to go very far in the sports. And I'm glad that we could have used Baseball 5 to give him that platform and give him that exposure because he deserves it.
So Aiden, talk to me a little bit about the pitching. When you guys are standing there, obviously as a Baseball 5, again, for anyone who's just joined us, Baseball 5 is played with a softball. There's 10 players in a team, of which there's 5 on the field or on the court at any one time. And of course, it's a mixed gender sport. So in other words, the team has to be male and female, or boys and girls. But Aiden, when you look at the game itself, it looks like the speed of how hard you hit the ball with your hand it seems like that's quite often the thing that catches the other team out. How do you make those decisions? I know you've got Coach Haley Scott and of course America Jumo, but how do you make your decisions when you're about to hit that ball? Mariska looked like she was quite often doing that little sneaky short ball just over, I think, is it the 5 meter mark? How far is that first off the first base or off the base, Mariska? That line, how far is your minimum distance?
4.5
If I
meters.
think it
4.5.
4.5, yeah.
4.5. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Aiden, to go back to you then, how do you guys make that decision? I mean, you've got players in front of you at every eye level. How do you know where to go?
Yeah. It goes down to knowing the outs, knowing the base runners, and more or
Yeah.
less the fielders, knowing your field and yourself, your own capabilities, your strengths, going down to your strengths, yeah.
So Mariska, is that something that you guys would plan in terms of strategy? That if you knew that you had a player on third, maybe pitch towards first?
Oh yes, no, definitely. We practice a lot of location hitting, and we practice a lot of scenarios. So when you go up to the batter's box, you look where your runners, you see where you have runners, then you look at the outs, and then also you look at the field. Your fielders and how the opposition is positioned is crucial, because if you see they stand very deep, the chances of you playing a ball very short, then you might get safe, or you can even sacrifice yourself on a short ball to advance the runners. Mainly our strategy was to get the first 2 boys on base. Then we'll usually have a girl come and advance them. And that's how we scored. Our motto was every inning we go up to bat, we want to minimize the errors in the field. And then when we go up to bat, we just want to continuously score a consistent amount. And we executed with that.
So is that something that you would do? Is you sacrifice for the team?
Oh yes, definitely.
Yeah.
If you have 2 runners on bases and you as a girl, let's say we come up to bat, it's a much better strategy to sacrifice yourself on one to advance the 2 boys, and then let another boy come up and then score those runners, and then one girl comes up after that again, and then the chances is if there's only one out that she will score another run as well. So it all comes down to strategy, your outs, your field. So you really have to think on your feet, and there's not enough time for your coaches to tell you where to go. You have to make that decision by yourself and in a very short amount of time.
Aiden, the games itself, it's very high pace. I think what are you guys playing, 5 innings at a time? But you've got to get through those 5 innings. If you don't keep your points up, you look at that mercy rule. Is that something that puts extra pressure on you?
Yeah, no, definitely. although the game being so short-paced and because of the field being so good, it doesn't really get to that point. I mean, it's very few times, unless the teams are exceptional at that time, or you guys are just really down and out, and then you should be worried about the mercy rule. But I don't ever think there's really mercy rule, except for when the opposition is really good.
And Mariska, what were you guys doing to recover? I mean, you were playing. But firstly, I needed to ask you because we couldn't see it on the stream. How warm was it there? Was it very hot?
I enjoyed the weather. The weather was lovely from my side. I know some guys struggled with the humidity, and after warm up, we were sweating properly. But for me, it was perfect. I really enjoyed it. We couldn't have better weather, in my opinion.
Well, we've got let's see here. We've got a question, or at least an hello from Renee Bartes joins us. Good evening, JP. We are so proud of the South African team. Hats off to Coach Juma and Hayley Scott. They are fantastic. True family. A huge shout out to Sylvester Moredi. Any relation, Aiden?
It's mother.
Okay, mother. Well, hello, Mom. I'm sure, Aiden, if you want to give a shout out to your fans, you're good to go. Mariska, one of the nice things about Baseball 5s is the ability to introduce players to baseball, and quite importantly also to bring women to baseball and grow women's baseball. Have you guys found that the Baseball 5 is attracting new players, is attracting women to the sport?
I think women's baseball we already had a baseline because Hayley Scott started it initially while I was introduced to it in 2019 already. Yeah. So I feel we already had a great program going. We have really a great team over there. There's a few very talented girls and even young and upcoming players. But where I really feel Baseball 5 had a huge impact, and this is great because this is why the sport originated, is for the less privileged children. At the Barnard Festival and all the schools we went to in Mamelodi, when those kids play, they really just forget about everything else and they just light up in a whole different way. So I would rather say in our less privileged communities and in our land, we have quite a few of them, it really brings a light to those children's lives. So I would say in the less privileged communities, I can really see how it impacted much more and how the sport is growing much more than women's baseball in this stage. And it's great because we get people involved in playing Baseball 5, and this can even grow regular baseball and softball as a sport. So it helps all around.
Aiden, that was one of the nice things that you guys did, was some of the road shows, getting to meet the kids, signing some autographs, getting some pictures taken. I mean, you guys sort of got famous here. You got your profiles up in the headlights. You were doing fundraising beforehand. Do you feel that's one of the things now, is that the kids are starting to look at you guys as the baseball heroes, and they want to play the same sport that you're playing?
Yeah, no, definitely. And it's actually, like Mariska says, it's nice to actually see that baseball is actually growing at the grassroots levels where it should be, because I mean, we want the next generation to just continue, and also for us being a public figure for them, it's amazing. I mean, it's only an honor for them. That's why we keep going and keep fighting.
Mariska, you're of course team captain, but listening to Aiden speak there now, he was speaking like a true leader. Are you satisfied with Aiden's policy?
Oh yes, no, oh definitely. I love it when Aiden jump in. When Aiden speaks to the team, there's just a certain calmness that comes over the team, and Aiden he's a great guy. He just I feel like he's the glue of the team. He just bonds everyone together. So I really respect Aiden. I love having him in my team, and it's really a privilege to play with him. He's a great guy.
This past weekend in Cape Town, there was a Baseball 5 a tournament where a number of the clubs came together to raise awareness for breast cancer, to raise awareness for women's baseball. Aiden, and of course Chad Bierkes, one of your Cape Town stars as well.
Yeah.
Aiden, are you guys going to start playing a bit of club baseball 5s against each other? I mean, we know now it was South Africa against the rest of the world, but I'm starting to see that we're going to get Port Elizabeth against Cape Town and Cape Town against Gauteng. Are we heading in that direction?
Nothing just as yet, JP. I mean, we did try to do the baseball 5 several times. We've got teams coming down. We've actually got a couple of players. It's just the inclusivity of girls.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Okay. Are we heading
That is keeping us down. Other than that, if it were all boys team, by all means, yeah. And Mandela Bay is taking it. Sorry.
So, I don't know if Mariska's going to do that one.
Oh.
No,
But I must
want to
say,
hear
I
from you,
think
Mariska.
I'm
Do you think Mandela Bay is going to? Well, let me. Yeah,
There's
I'll
no
leave
way,
you to-
Aiden. There's no way.
But you were
This
about
one
to
is
say something.
Gauteng. I must say, coaches, I really believe they will have a tournament up and running in a few years. The sport is so fast, and we have started with our youth now, and Baseball 5 is going to be in the Olympics, in the next Olympics. So
Mariska,
there's going to
we
be
just lost you for a second before you tell us about the Olympics. Just rewind quickly. I think that there was a gremlin in the Wi-Fi, but you were just saying something after Aiden said that
Is it better
Mandela. Yeah, no, it's right now. You're A for
Okay.
away.
great. I see it froze again. Is it better now?
You're fine at the moment. We can hear you perfectly. Yeah.
Okay, but as I said, there's a Youth Olympics coming up, and we really want South Africa to participate. I really do believe we are going to participate. Prepare our team is through club games and provincial games. So I'm very sure and the Baseball 5 committee is going to have a few provincial tournaments and even club games starting very soon, and this is definitely going to be included in our next 4 or 5 year plan to have a competitive club side, a competitive provincial side, and then ultimately a very strong youth side that's going to represent us at the Olympics. So yes, the club sides is definitely going to happen very soon, and it's going to Gauteng. We all know that.
So Mariska, which baseball club are you with?
I'm at Valhalla.
You're at Valhalla. And
Yes.
Aiden, you're of course at Mandela Bay.
Yes.
All right. Are we? Who do you think is going to come through the ranks and be the other challengers? Have you got any ideas? I mean, we're already looking at the likes of Athlone and VOB and Kalesdrivier and Durbanville and Boeresig and Giants. These guys are all coming. Lont Park is busy.
Yeah.
I must say, I think it's hard for me and Aiden to compare it because he plays in the boys' side and myself in the girls' side. So I think the girls is a little bit stronger in Pretoria, if I may. And then the boys, obviously, the baseball club belongs to Western Province. They're just that good. So I think it's a little bit hard to compare it between ourselves because one is playing for the boys' sides, obviously, and myself are playing for the girls. So it might be a little bit difficult to compare it between us, but overall, it'll go to Gauteng.
You guys obviously excited about the future. I think that's fantastic, guys. I've managed to keep you, I think, long enough. I think that the next time we get you on, we'll show some of the videos and photographs. We'll watch how you guys sing to Mendoza and Vulindlela and Jerusalem. Again, massive congratulations on your performance overseas. The spirit of the team, the leadership, the coaching, guys, we're super proud of you, and hopefully all your fans are watching now, and we're definitely going to catch up with both of you guys again soon.
Thank you, JP. It was an absolute pleasure. Thank you for having us.
Well, make sure you guys
Yes,
get back
thank
to
you
your
for
work
having
and back to your studies. I know that's something that you have to concentrate on.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, bye guys. Thanks for joining me. We'll catch up again soon.
Cheers, Joy.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. See you,
Right,
Maris.
folks, there we go. So I'm going to ask you guys just to hold on for me for 2 seconds before you go. Let me go just say goodbye to the audience. So this will take about 2 seconds. And of course, remember, everybody's still watching, everybody's still listening. There we go, folks. It's Mariska Barnard, captain of the National Baseball 5 side, and of course, Aiden Bartes, playing out of PE Mandela Bay. I'm sure, as you heard Mariska say there, Valhalla Baseball Club. But wow, what a team. We will, as I said, we'll bring you some photographs, we'll bring you some videos. Don't forget, if you go to the website, www.sabaseball.co.za, you can see the photographs, you can see the videos, you can see the profiles of all of the players. YouTube here at the moment, live every Thursday night. Tell your friends, like and subscribe and ring the bell so that you get the notifications when we go live. It's a channel that we're just getting started, and of course we're going to talk about baseball, we're going to talk about baseball fives, we're going to talk about women's baseball, we're going to talk about club baseball, we're going to talk about South African baseball right here on our South African Baseball Live podcast. If you are watching, as I said, please like, subscribe, and we'll see you again next week, same time, same place. Have a fantastic baseball weekend. Bye-bye.